This question does require us to memorize something. We need to know what this word undefined means. It's very important in math, so you should know it. Basically, remember, we cannot divide by 0. That's very bad. And so something is undefined when we would be dividing by 0. So really what's going on here is we need to say, okay, when is this bottom part equal to 0? Now there's a trap answer that people fall for. And so we've got to be careful that we don't do that same mistake here. We're at number 36 out of 38, so we're getting near the end of the section. This is where I would expect some hard questions to be. And 5, how should I write this? 5 is the trap answer. Because we look at this and we say, oh, well, 5 minus 5 is 0, and so lots of things in math kind of make us think of that right away. And so we look at it and we say, oh, okay, like that makes sense. Putting in 5 would make 0. But it wouldn't make the entire equation 0. We'd still have that 4 off on the right side. So what we really need to do is just solve pretty traditionally here. So I'm going to rewrite it so I've got plenty of space to show my work. And I'm going to set just the bottom equal to 0, because I don't care about the top. No matter what the top is, the bottom is the thing that is got to be 0. And so in this case, it's 1. But if there was other equation stuff on the top, ignore it. It's all about the bottom. All right, so first and foremost, let's FOIL this out. We got to square this term. Now, when we do that, remember, that's not just squaring both. We've got to FOIL. So we're going to get a middle term. So it's going to be x squared minus 10x plus 25. This gets distributed, so that's 4x minus 20 plus 4. Now we can start combining like terms, so x squared is going to stay. Minus 10x plus 4x is minus 6x. 25 minus 20 is 5, plus 4 is 9. And so now we can factor. We need numbers that add to negative 6 and multiply to 9, and we've only got one choice here, negative 3 and negative 3. So there's only one answer, 3. That's the answer. Sometimes there might be 2, right? If it had factored differently at the end, we might have had 2 answers, in which case the question would have said, what is one possible value for which the function is undefined? But here it's just 3. Now look, we could have gotten this by guessing and checking. So if you were confused by the algebra, you could have kind of just picked some numbers and said, okay, let me try 0, let me try 1, let me try 2, 3, and kind of done a couple of like simple numbers until it worked. The reason I don't recommend that here is I think that if you know what undefined means, it's very likely that you know how to solve this algebraically. Those two concepts seem very connected. But for something like this, it's unlikely that it's going to be some weird random number like 7/3 because it's going to involve factoring. So it probably is something simple, and so there might be a case where, yeah, it's okay to guess and check and just try some numbers.